This transmission came about when I challenged myself to identify the most standout epidemic that internally pressed me, so I could continue serving as a remedy towards the issue. And I found that it was the lack of soulfulness, the lack of naturalness, by which many are living their lives, but not mindfully leading themselves towards improved conditions. Large masses of people who are not intentionally governing their mood, their decisions, and their approaches, but rather going through the motions, part of the collective malaise, functioning in accordance with unconscious, unmystical forces. This soulfulness deficiency is a consequence of numerous factors that comprise the makeup of our civilization. There are so many obligations, financial responsibilities, errands, chores, tasks, time put towards working jobs and showing up for others and shuffling around from place to place. How can we actually exit these overly busy, exhausting, depleting, stressful, overwhelming, mechanical operating modes? How can we truly shift from these poorly structured, doing-oriented lifestyles and realistically move into a higher quality of aliveness, one that is uncompromisingly centered on healthy nutritional intake, being in our divine essence, breathing fully and slowly, engaging in contemplation as an art form, prioritizing calmness in the heart and nervous system, taking action when creatively inspired, and flowing authentically from moment to moment in honor of ourselves and others. Sounds lovely, right? 3 things came through. Firstly, at the beginning of our self-inquiry process, it is imperative that we look at what we do with our free time. Really look in detail at what we do with our free time. We may not have the knowledge or resources for redesigning our entire existence at first, but we can look with honesty at how we spend our time away from work and if it's devoted to well-being. We may simply know that we want to make a change or that we yearn to connect with like-minded soul tribe. But do we actively search for and attend the drum circles, the meetups, the local festivals, the self-development classes, the retreats, or do we start movements of our own when we're compelled, pushing through doubts that arise, blazing forward as explorers and creators of a more fulfilling way? Participating in book clubs or finding an exercise buddy or linking with a mentor to expand on a business idea we're eager to pursue? Do we immerse and absorb our consciousness in stimulating and elevating lectures and seminars and podcasts? Do we find humor in life as often as possible? Do we pause to laugh or meditate or become still within, no matter how demanding our schedule may be? What do we do with our free time? Really look at it with honesty. Especially if one's free time is significantly smaller than one's dutiful work-based portions of the week, it is that much more crucial to be wise, purposeful, strategic, and efficient with that free time so that something more favorable can come about and the bigger picture can be optimized. Otherwise, time, which is an element, is not engaged with in a magical, lucid way like it can be, but rather time is mindlessly wasted on either sleeping away those sunlit hours or numbing out in front of media or doing something considered recreational but involves toxic habits and cellular harm, or isolating oneself in an unproductive way due to depression or insecurities, or continuing to serve the needs and desires of others before your own core well-being and your own dream life. So this self-inquiry leads us to really evaluate where our time and energy go, what changes need to be made, what resources are available to us that we can take advantage of so that we feel more aligned with our higher path, and then self-amplifying our will. Because our willingness is at the foundation of the actions we take. We research stuff we're interested in. We resonate potently with something. We reconfigure our reality accordingly, and we aim to live consistently by choice in a new, better flow state, a fresh reality that we refine seasonally, or we refine it daily, however we see fit. This level of self-governance is essential, or it becomes uncomfortably apparent that life is living you, rather than you living a life you're electrified and illuminated by. So that's the first key, is to really look at what you do with your free time. Secondly, having a clear vision of our optimal reality is another key in our process, because we're striving for balance and contentment. Balance and contentment. But ideally, what does that look like? How does that play out? For example, I've always said that I imagine, and I most resonate with, living in a beautiful, off-grid, sustainably built residence with all the amenities and comforts needed, with a spiral staircase leading to a rooftop deck for sunbathing, stargazing, one-on-one reasoning sessions, group powwows, and private meditation in solitude. A peaceful, easy-to-maintain property by the water with vegetable garden, fruit and coconut trees, plenty of privacy, and in nearby proximity, holistic, caring, respectful neighbors. My divine, devoted, beloved, and I thrive in optimal health. We swing in a big hammock. We take in fresh air all day and night. We go on long walks. We frequently dance and celebrate and cook and drum and share our original music. We co-facilitate gatherings that help infuse more soulfulness and emotional intimacy in people's lives, and enjoy freedom of time, travel, creative expression, financial freedom, and freedom from suffering. So in having this clear vision of your optimal reality, really be unlimited and detailed to texturalize and practically imbibe the scene and all that it entails. Once you imbibe something regularly, it's more effortless to embody it as your truth, your real life livity, the only thing that feels like normalcy, that feels like home, that feels like your primary true reality. So we are evaluating with honesty precisely what we do with our free time. We're self-amplifying our willingness to take action on things we're passionate about. We're doing this constantly so as to govern and curate our reality with loving attention and greater awareness. We are developing and defining in written form, spoken form, visual form, and feelable form what our optimal reality is, so we can crystallize it through present moment embodiment and attract more that aligns with that optimal design through being, projecting, and emanating the frequencies of it. There is to be no vibrational separation between the optimal visualized reality and the feeling state within our body-mind. Thirdly, communing with the Most High and communing with other humans for greater magnetization, support, and accountability? Are we now speaking everything into being? Are we feeling it as present tense, as real as news of winning a huge lottery and immediately quitting your job because it's already been confirmed that the payments are coming in for the next 20 years or in one lump sum, whatever you prefer? It is, and it is now. And that clear experiential vision of your optimal reality feels the most light to you, therefore it is by design the most right. Whatever feels the most light within your being is by design the most right, the most truthful, the most wheels in motion, orchestrated to perfection, happened in space and time, exists in the material world you see and touch, and feels glorious reality. Because it was conjured beforehand in spirit realms for your heart's delight, to catapult you to greater heights in this life by making your unique ministry play out through synchronicity after synchronicity. It's a glistening state of being to align work with play, to align mind with heart, to align dreams with tangible earth life, and to barely be able to recall agitation and struggle and low vibe memories in a physiological way because they're not needed anymore in this ever-growing state of becoming great and feeling wonderful and the energetic contagion of joy and inspiration and living by demonstration. What a potent medicine that's setting in. It always was, and then you saw, and now you are, and nothing is too far because the power is in the present feeling. And then the call comes in, the seemingly random email is received, the knock at the door, the surprise in the mailbox, a message through a song you hear, an encounter that was exactly what was on the agenda of all this splendor. We're not acting like there's not crap to contend with. We're just not pretending to be offended, defeated, or reacting to the season. We're returning consciously every breath to an innate state of detached okayness. It fell away quickly. We overrode the bumps in the road through a subtle and self-invoked float, a dreamlike float that allowed us to see a broader scope and handle the muck without being in it, not judging the muck, but carefully tending to business and returning to the isness, where wellness reigns supreme. Manifestation is done with ease, and you now have the keys. Enjoy the inner breeze of this prolonged reprieve from anything you do not need, and soulfully be.